climate we live in, where this issue is now being discussed and being brought into cartoons and our children are being exposed, this is something that we as adults need to be very, very familiar with and know how we teach our children. So the first point that I mentioned in this fatwa, which is something well known to all of us, the Quran and history both teach us that there are two genders. It's not just coming from the scripture. It's not just coming from mankind. Common sense, logic, reasoning, history, and the Quran all tell us that there are two genders. And the Quran tells us that mankind has been created from two genders and in two genders. Understand this point. We are created from two genders, right? So Allah Azza wa Jal mentions that from a male and female we created all of you. So we're created from two genders. And Allah also says, وَبَثَّ مِنْهُمَا رِجَالًا كَثِيرًا وَنِسَاءً. From these two we spread forth multitudes of men and women. And the Quran explicitly says, وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنثَى. The male is not like the female. And our Prophet ﷺ said, women are the complementary halves of men. They're not the same. النِّسَاءُ شَقَائِقُ الرِّجَالِ. Women are the complementary halves. Half of mankind is women, half of mankind is man. The two put together form mankind. He didn't say they are the same. So we firmly believe that there is such a thing called sex and gender, and there is male and female, and that this difference is not just something that is imaginary or cultural. Because what modern society wants to teach our children is that gender is not the same as biological sex. This is what they're saying. That biological sex, you can be born male or female, a boy or girl. But to be assigned male or female, they say, it is from culture. It is from society. We say, no. The fact that there is boy and girl means there is male and female. And that we admit and we affirm that the male and female are not the same. And because they are different physiologically, because they are different from the DNA, you can take a cell from any male or any female and not ask who the person is and look under a microscope and you will know whether it is male or female from the DNA of that cell. From the cell all the way to the body, there are differences. Physically, physiologically, hormonally, there are differences in every single level of existence. And everybody knows this except in this generation. So because there are differences, the Sharia has taken those differences into account. And the Sharia has come with gender, not just with sex and sexuality. Gender. Male and female is not just imaginary. There are roles that are masculine, there are roles that are feminine. And the entire Sharia, from the first chapter of Tahara all the way to the chapter of inheritance, it is gender specific. You cannot argue that the Sharia ignores gender. Every hukum, or almost I should say, there are many hukum that are the same, but many ahkam are different. Many ahkam, many rulings are different between the male and the female. So we affirm that there are two genders, that these two genders are distinct and separate, and they are equally human. The one is not more noble than the other. This is our key point here. That both genders are equally human and noble, and in the eyes of Allah, they both have the same potential to earn Jannah. This is equality. This is real equality. They can get to Jannah the same. How they get to Jannah, what their tasks are different.